mental. This feels weird. I'm outdoors with my camera on one hand. Obviously, I'm absolutely buzzing. I'm free. On the other hand, admittedly, I feel like I'm breaking the law, but I'm not. And I want to have a little bit of a chat to start off this video out on the beach with my camera. Madness. So I'm going to find somewhere to have a quick sit down, just to give a brief introduction really to what the hell is going on here. Madness. Mad! That's got to be the word of the evening, guys. I cannot believe this. I'm outdoors with my camera. I'm free. It feels amazing. But let me have this little chat, okay? I wanted to explain my approach for the next few weeks. What am I going to do going forward, all right? So firstly, for anybody that might not be from England, to put it simply, things are almost back to normal in terms of like landscape photography and being outdoors. The only limitations I can think of, put it this way, if you're coming outdoors, you have to just stay away from other people. You can stay out for as long as you want, and you can't stay overnight at places. You can't go out camping. As far as I'm concerned, in terms of landscape photography, which is my passion and my job, incidentally, as well, it's pretty much normal, like. However, all right, and this is where this chat comes in, and my opinion is that just because we can do it doesn't mean that we should. And I suppose I'd maybe I know I've got a little bit of an audience here, I'd maybe like to encourage people to do what I'm doing. I've created a little bit of a pact for myself, and I'll get into that in a minute. Firstly, I'm not a politician, right? Far from it, in fact. I'm not here to tell other people what to do. Quite frankly, if I'm being completely honest with you, I don't really care. I know I probably shouldn't say that because I've got a bit of an audience here. But I'm just being completely honest with you. I don't really care what other people do, all right? I don't make these laws up. But these communities, like this is Cumbria back here, over this bay. It's where my heart is. It's where I'm from. It's where my passion lies. And it's where I want to be at the minute, quite frankly. But these communities that just happen to live amongst these beautiful mountains and, these beauty spots like Cornwall and Devon, from what I've seen online, the vast majority of them are saying, please don't come just yet. We'll welcome you with open arms once the pandemic has passed a little bit more. Even though you're allowed to come the same, just consider don't come in yet. And I happen to agree with that. My conscience is telling me, don't go, okay? So this is what I've done. This is a pact that I've made for myself going forward for the foreseeable. I don't know for how long. I'm going to play it by ear. I've gone onto some random website on the internet, all right, and it brings up Google Maps and it allows you to create a radius. I'll put the link to this website underneath this video in the video description, and I've created a 10-mile radius from my home, all right, and I'm going to give myself that to explore, to take photographs and to create these videos for you guys, and I'm going to stick to that for the foreseeable. And yeah, I guess I'd encourage you guys to maybe consider doing the same, all right? I think, I was really surprised. It depends where you live, of course, but that gives me a lot of land to play with. It gives me a lot of exploration to enjoy. But maybe consider doing that, because that's what I'm going to do. But like I said, I ain't telling anyone what to do. So this is my hometown. This is beautiful Morecambe. It's currently an incredible sunset. I've come out ready for the blue hour this evening, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I know this place really well. I've spent many a year living here, and of course, I'm very lucky to live in a place like this at the minute. So this is good for landscape photography. So yeah, like I say, I know this beach well, but for now, I suppose, as we used to, guys, let's go and explore around a little bit. Alright, so the sun is just going down now behind the Furness Peninsula, and for anyone who doesn't know this area very well or doesn't know it at all, one thing that it's really well known for, or infamous for, are the tides. The tides are very, very quick, and this is basically just a huge estuary that goes out into the Irish Sea. The tides are very, very fast. They come in and out very fast and incredibly dangerous. But this time of year, in May, the low tide is very, very low. It basically just becomes like a couple of rivers out in the middle of the estuary, which is really good, you know. Coincidentally, that's brilliant for us, for our photography. It means we've got the whole bay to play with pretty much. You know, you still need to be careful with quicksand and stuff if you're getting too close to the water. But it just gives us a hell of a lot more, I don't know, potential for foreground, let's say. So that's wonderful. Actually, this time of year, a bit further down this way, you can walk straight across the bay all the way over to Cumbria there. You're supposed to do it with guides. You wouldn't just, you know, crack on with it yourself, I don't think. But yeah, it is doable, which just shows you, like, it really empties out. So yeah, like I said, I'm here for the blue hour this evening. It's so weird, like vlogging again. It's amazing. Oh, out with the camera, look at this tripod set up here on the lot. Been flying the drone around. Oh, top draw. Top draw indeed. Right, chill out a little bit. So I said before, we'll get into some photography in a minute, I promise, guys. I live on this promenade, so I see this every night. Yeah, this beautiful sunset. And the blue hour has really caught my eye. The sunsets are incredible, you know, absolutely beautiful. But the blue hour is what's been really catching my attention. And I kind of made this sort of pledge to myself as well, that when I do go out, I'll go out and shoot the blue hour. Try and get maybe some like abstract shots back towards the beautiful Cumbrian mountains. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Now I'm going to head back this way a little bit, inland a little bit, because I found some nice potential foreground. Oh, I am buzzing. Let's do that. I was just about to do, you know, you've probably seen it if you've watched my videos in the past, where I do that nice little shot where I've got the tripod set up and then I like crack the camera on the top and it looks all nice and well videoed. I've forgotten my L bracket for my Nikon, for my stills camera. What a downer! So I only live 5 minutes away, but it's kind of too late now. I can't use my tripod. I'll tell you what, I can use the tripod that the video camera's on. Clearly a bit rusty. So I've just got the video camera. This is a car crash. I've got my video camera balanced on my normal stills Manfrotto tripod. And I've got my D7200 on my video Manfrotto tripod. Ridiculous. Unprofessional. Sorry guys. But I've been out of the game, that's my excuse. So, this feels amazing, talking you guys through my first composition. Before we get into this, I suppose I just want to say a quick thanks to you guys, from the bottom of my heart, honestly, like, for following along with me on these adventures. And I don't know, of course we've all had a lot of time to think since we've been indoors. It just means the world. I'm living my dream every single time I'm out with my camera, creating this content. It's mind-blowing, and I just really want to say thank you so much for your support. This comes, you know, a few days after, I don't know, I suppose a week after I released my ebook for sale. It's done really well. I've been really overwhelmed with the amount of copies that I've sold and the support I've had from you guys. Thank you, absolutely amazing, and cheers for sharing this journey with me over the past few years, few months, days, however long you've been watching me. I appreciate each and every one of you, so thanks. Anyway, less of that, let's get into the photography. So yeah, a little bit awkward using this tripod, but it's still getting the job done. I'm not particularly that, you know, massively bothered about photography this evening. So you can see this is a beautiful scene, you know, incredible background. I've got no filters on the front. You know, I usually use a polarizer here, shooting into a small pool of water, but I'm actually wanting to capture the reflections. What we're getting are kind of reflections of the sky, and like I keep mentioning about this blue hour, it's capturing a lot of those beautiful cold blue tones, and it's working as this awesome contrast, foreground, background contrast almost, because we've still got a lot of the warm glow that's coming from that sort of post-sunset area of the sky over there. So yeah, it's a beautiful colour contrast. And of course, classic, I've just scoured around. I actually mentioned this in my ebook. You know, sometimes it's nice to just look around for some foreground elements. And this rock suited, you know, what I wanted to do perfectly. It's quite sort of long, and it kind of points out into the direction, into the bay that I want to photograph, and eventually off into the beautiful Cumbrian Mountains, or some of the Cumbrian Mountains there in the background. It's really nice when you look over. You probably won't be able to see from this shot, but I'll try and show you. There's sort of like two sets of higher fells. You've got these that are sort of on the left or more towards the west, which is like the Scarfell range mostly. And then on the right hand side you've got like Helvellyn and looking back towards Ullswater. So I always love it standing here looking over there. Now I'm at a point in my life where I understand it all geographically. It's absolutely awesome. F11, ISO 100 and 1 second exposure, just to make sure that the exposure's right in the photograph, that my histogram's all correctly balanced. And I've just focused on this rock down here in the foreground, and that's it. So I suppose this is the first post-lockdown photograph. I do hope you guys like it. So as you can probably see now, it's getting a little bit dark. If I turn around, there's beautiful Morecambe in the background, top drawer. But as you can see, the sky is still glowing and the stars are coming out. Living the dream, this is it, absolutely amazing. So I'm going to take another shot, and this really is the image that I kind of had planned, or you know, I said I was looking out the window all the time and really appreciating the blue hour. This is the shot that I wanted. However, because I've messed up the old tripod situation, it's proving fairly difficult. Of course I'm going to have tons of opportunities to come out and, you know, capture this image again. But what I'm doing here is trying to do a horizontal panorama. So I've got the 55 to 200mm lens on, and I'm zoomed right back in towards the Cumbrian Mountains and that beautiful Scarfell range over there. I think Coniston Old Man's over there somewhere. And just trying to create that sort of compression effect that you often get when you're zoomed right in with a telephoto lens like that. And what that means is it just kind of makes the mountains appear a little bit bigger, which is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So yeah, zoomed in at 200mm. My settings are a little bit weird. I'll explain to you as to why that is in a minute. f5.6, ISO 1600, and that's giving me 1/30th of a second. Weird settings just to try and get a quicker shutter speed because the tripod's a bit rubbish. You can see here, because I forgot my L bracket, I'm having to shoot with the camera on that sort of 90-degree angle so I can get it in a vertical orientation or a portrait orientation, which is fine, you know. There's nothing wrong with not having an L bracket and having it on that 90-degree angle like that. It's just because of the tripod. The camera's too heavy for the tripod, so it's proving quite difficult. But yeah, a bit of a quicker shutter speed. Hopefully that should eradicate some of the camera shake. But I just don't know if it's going to stitch together very well in Photoshop or Lightroom, because it's really difficult to keep it all level. But it's a nice idea, and one thing that I think's meant here is the depth of field. So because I've zoomed in so much like that, what I've decided to do is focus on the mountains. Because I'm shooting at f5.6, it's really nice because the foreground, I'm still capturing quite a lot of the sand and some of these beautiful reflected blues and oranges mostly. They're out of focus, you know, all the sand's here in the foreground, and then it falls off into the background, or actually falls in. It falls into focus as you get closer to the mountains over a little bit of the sea there, and it looks really cool. And like I say, I really like the idea. I'm not too fussed if I can't pull it off this evening because of my kit. A poor workman, blames his tools. But yeah, they are hindering me a bit here. But yeah, hopefully that turns out all right. And yeah, we'll see. Right, so it is pitch black now. This video camera is currently shooting at ISO 12,800, so it is pitch black. Just before I go, I just thought of an idea. At the start of this video, of course, I was talking about everything that's going on with the lockdown and how I'm sort of committing to this 10-mile radius thing, and I was trying to encourage you guys to maybe try out the same thing. Here's what I'm going to do, set you guys a little bit of a challenge, I suppose. It's not something I ever really do on this channel, but if you're going to give it a go, any landscape shots, any photographs of the landscape that you take within a 10-mile radius of your own home, you don't have to prove it to me, but if you put them on your Instagram, use the hashtag 10-mile radius. I'm sure that'll be fine. I'm sure many people won't be using that hashtag. Use that hashtag 10-mile radius, so 10-mile radius. And in my next video, I'll feature 3 of those photographs, and I guess I'll give them a little bit of a, a very brief critique, or I'll pick 3 of my favourites. I won't be critiquing any images. I'll pick my 3 favourites and just explain to you guys what it is that I really like them about them. But it has to be within a 10-mile radius of your houses, and make sure you use that hashtag so I can actually find some. That would be class. All in all, like I said before, thank you all so much for the support. You've all been extra supportive over this lockdown period. Really grateful. Thanks so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please comment below with your thoughts, and I'll see you on the next one. Don't forget about that hashtag. Out.